How's it going? Galore Wrestling Figures here. Welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be doing something a bit different. I'm going to be predicting the upcoming WWE Elite. And now, a couple of weeks ago, the series got revealed or leaked, and it said who was in the set, and you can see that on screen now. And the actual figures haven't got revealed yet. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm just going to be predicting what figures I think and want in the set. And I'll admit this video is quite hard to do because we haven't really got much information, but I'm going to try my best. And I just want to say thanks to whoever leaked or revealed this. I think it might have been Collectors Inside, so a big thanks to them. And I'm not sure if this is official, so it might change, but hopefully it doesn't. So without any further ado, let's get into the predictions. So as you can see, the first series we're going to start off with is Elite 103, and of course the first figure being Bobby Lashley. And now Bobby Lashley has got a couple of elites, however, there's one gear that stands out that we haven't got yet, and since the first time I saw it, I've been hoping for it, and this is this gear. Of course, that gear being the gear that Bobby Lashley wore at Crown Jewel 2022. And now, as soon as I saw this gear, I knew that we needed it in figure form. And I've been looking out for a few customs of this that I've seen people doing, and I do think that they look quite good. And it is pretty much just the same as his other elites, and the same attire, just a different colour. However, it has got a nice mix of red and yellow, and I think that this would look good in figure form, and I think that we do need another Bobby Lashley Elite, so I could see him adding this, and that this one should be another one to add to the set, and overall it does look like quite a good attire that would be good in figure form. The next figure in the set, of course, is Roman Reigns, and now this took a bit to think about, and I thought, what figure could we possibly get, because we have had quite a couple of Roman Reigns recently. And it came to my mind that there is one Roman Reigns that we need. And of course, that is a more updated Roman Reigns. And we have got updated Roman Reigns, but I feel like Roman doesn't really change what he looks like much. So maybe he doesn't really change his gear much. But recently he has changed it slightly. So what we need is a more updated Elite with both belts. So you could have them as accessories. The little the red thing he wears around his neck, the red glove, I feel like that would be good. And also the main bit we need is, as you can of course see on this photo, the updated shoes with the logo and the red on. That would look quite good as an Elite, and I definitely see a lot of people picking this up if they have that on his Elite 103. Next, we've got a tag team that haven't really had much figures or elites for quite a while, and that, of course, is the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. And since the last Elite, there has been quite a few good attires they've worn, but there's one attire that stood out for me, and I feel like this should be made as an Elite. Of course, the attire is the WrestleMania 38 gear, and this is the same as that Bobby Lashley. As soon as you see it, you feel like it should be made in figure form. And I'm not so up to date with basics. They might have made this as a basic, but as an Elite this would look quite good. Of course, you have got the opportunity to have a couple of good accessories like the jackets, a couple of those cups, and overall there could be some quite good figures. And I see this one, quite a lot of people wanting updated Street Profits, and this would probably do quite well. And there is some other gears, but I feel like this is probably the best option and probably the best gear that they've worn over the last couple of years. Next up, we've got Liv Morgan, who also hasn't been in the Elite series for a long time. And I feel like Liv Morgan's had quite a few good gears over the last couple of years. And since the last figure was a long time ago, there's opportunities to have quite a lot of gears. And I feel like there's one that should be made. And of course, that being Liv's SummerSlam 2022 gear. And now this gear, I think that is one of the best gears that she has had recently, and I feel like if they made this in figure form, there's quite a lot of things that they can do with it. So they can have a championship, a couple of extra hands, interchangeable heads, and I do quite like this one. And as I say, they could decide to have an interchangeable head like this photo here with a tongue out. I think that would look quite good on display, but overall it's a good attire. The purple and black mixes quite well. And you can have the SmackDown Women's Championship to make it even better. So I feel like they should really make this one. Next up, we've got someone who I didn't really see getting an Elite recently. And that's Stardust. Now, Stardust, of course, used to be Cody Rhodes' other character, and I didn't see Stardust getting a figure, so hopefully, if this set does actually release, I'm hopefully going to buy it because I'm a big Stardust fan and a big Cody fan, so hopefully this should be a good one. And now this one does have a chase, and for the normal one I have got a couple of ideas who I think they could do and which figures. And the figure I'm going to go for the normal one is Stardust's WrestleMania 32 gear. And now this gear was a tribute to Dusty Rhodes, so it would fit in quite well, especially like with what Cody's doing now. And I feel like this would probably be the normal one, because usually the normal one's better than the chase in most cases. And I feel like this would be a great attire to do. And also they could even have the Dusty Rhodes tribute ladder as an accessory, but there is potential to have this as the chase. But overall I feel like this would be quite a good figure, and they couldn't really go wrong with it. Just use parts they've used before, and I feel like this could actually be quite a good figure. Next up, we've got the chase, and I did have a couple of options for this, but I've decided to go for this purple attire that I did wear quite a few times. And I've decided to go for this one because this one did actually have a basic before, and I feel like if we got an elite it would be quite a good follow-up, so we'd have the basic and the elite, and overall it would be quite a good attire. And of course he did wear this once when he tagged with Goldust, and it'd be like a little it would be quite good overall just to have it, and it would look quite good as well, I can say that. So hopefully we do get this one. The next set we've got is Greatest Hits Series 2. Now the first series was quite good, so hopefully Series 2 can be even better. But now I'm going to hands down say it's great just to get figures re-released, because even though there's the value of the figures, getting them again for a good price, it's quite good. And now, the first figure in the set is The Undertaker, and there is quite a few different Undertakers that we could get. And of course, we're going to have an Undertaker that we've already got re-released. And there is a few Undertakers, but there's one in specific that I've decided to go for. That, of course, being the Elite 55. And now, if this figure got redone, I know that it might lose its value a bit, but to be honest, I'm hoping this figure gets re-released, because when it first came out, and I still think that it's one of the best Undertaker figures, and if they redid this with a double jointed arms and the true FX, I feel like it could be great, and you have chance to add loads of opportunities to it, such as accessories, improvements, and it should be quite a good figure if they decide to do this one. And overall it is quite a good figure, and there is a few other Undertakers they could do, and I know we are getting the Ruthless Aggression one, but that has got jeans on, whereas this is just normal wrestling gear. So I do hope that they do re-release this one. Next up, we've got Shawn Michaels, and now Shawn Michaels figures in hand feel great, and I do hope to get a few more, and of course, if they release any more good ones, I will get them. And now, originally, I was going to go for the Elite 7, but the thing about the Elite 7 is that you'd probably sort of have to have a Triple H match in as well, and because of that, I've decided to go with one of my favourite Shawn Michaels, which is none other than the Elite 3. This Shawn Michaels Elite is one of my favourite Elites, not just Shawn Michaels Elites, but Elites in general. I feel like everything about it is great, and the accessories and the attire. And I feel like if they re-release this with some slight improvements, they could probably make it even better. And I know that they might not do this one, but hopefully they do, because with double jointed arms and true FX, they could make this double the times better. So hopefully this one gets into Series 2. Next, we've got Seth Rollins, and now I know people for a long time have wanted the Elite 45 to be redone. However, I also agree with them, but there is another Seth Rollins Elite that I'd want in Series 2, and that, of course, being the Elite 57 Seth Rollins. And now, for a long time, I've always been a fan of this Seth Rollins, and I would also like the 45 redone, but I feel like I'd probably prefer this. And this would also probably be the better option, just because all gold, the attire's great, and also it's based off WrestleMania 33, which he had a great match against Triple H. And overall, I feel like true FX, and I could have a couple more accessories and double jointed arms, and I feel like this could be a really good figure if they decided to do this one. And it is overall a good figure as it is now, so hopefully if they redo it, they can even improve it. Of course, next we have got Batista and King Harley Race, and we have already seen these revealed. And I'm not going to go too much into them, but I'm just going to quickly show them now. And overall, these two do look quite well, and I can't wait to get these. So hopefully these two are quite good figures. Of course, here's the Batista, which of course is Blue Tista. It does look quite good. It is pretty much just the same as, I can't remember the other series that the other one was, but it's pretty much just the same, but slightly improved, and it does look quite good. It should be quite good to get it. Of course, we have got King Harley Race, and this one does look quite good. I know the other one's quite rare to get, so hopefully this one gives people a better chance at getting it. And overall, it is a slight improvement, and I probably will end up picking this one up, but it does look quite good. Next up, before we go on to the other page, is Diamond Dallas Page, and he hasn't had much elites, but he has had one elite, and of course that being the Elite 36. This, of course, being one of his only elites, and hopefully do this one, because I would probably end up buying it, because they can do a couple of improvements like the double jointed arms and a better face scan, and give us a couple of extra hands, because they're always best to have extra hands, as I always say, and hopefully this one should be quite good. Now, next on the list, we have got quite a couple of good elites that I'm looking forward to, hopefully, if they come out. And we have already seen the SummerSlam Elite, so I'm not going to bother going into those. But we do have the Survivor Series Elite. And of course, first we have Shawn Michaels. And there was a couple of figures that we could have gone for, but there's one that I feel like we have to go for. And that is none other than Shawn Michaels' attire from Survivor Series 2002. And now this was the first Elimination Chamber. And I feel like we haven't already got this elite, and I feel like as much as people don't really like the attire, I feel like it's probably best if we just get the elite, because to be honest, if this was made as an elite, I feel like it could have the potential to be one of the best Shawn Michaels figures, and you have the opportunity to have quite a couple of accessories with it, the jacket and the bottoms, of course, maybe an extra head, hands, but yeah, you can do quite a lot with this figure, and of course you can have the builder figure as well. But yeah, this figure, if this got made, I'd probably 100% buy it, because it does look like quite a good figure that could be made. Now, next up, we have Charlotte Flair, and this one was quite an easy one to go for, considering the attire that I've gone for. Her opponent has already had a figure of the attire that she wore, and this figure is none other than Charlotte's attire from Survivor Series 2022. And now this is quite a good gear in my opinion, and I feel like she hasn't had too much good Survivor Series gears, so I feel like this is probably the best one to go with. And of course we have also had the Becky Lynch as well from this match, so if you had the pair it would be quite good. And I feel like overall, if you had to put a Survivor Series attire in this for Charlotte Flair, this is probably a best attire to go for, and it should probably look quite good. Next, we have Jerry the King Lawler, who hasn't really appeared at Survivor Series too much, but he has appeared a couple of times, so there is a chance to have a couple of gears. And now there is one gear that I've decided to go for, and that is his attire from Survivor Series 1994. Now, of course, this is when he was with the royal family, so of course, I think we already have had an elite like this. I can't remember what series it was, but I feel like if they just added this in the Survivor Series line, it'd probably make more sense. And of course, you have got the opportunity, if they really wanted to add a little royal family figure, but I don't really feel like they would do that. But of course, you know, the attire is quite good, and I feel like if they made this into the actual set, quite a few people would buy this, because it is quite a good attire. Next, we've got Kevin Owens, and now Kevin Owens, he has been at a few Survivor Series, but he hasn't really had that good gear. And now, if they had to make one, I would probably say that would be his attire from 2022 Survivor Series, and I feel like we haven't had this elite before, and it stands out quite a lot, you could say, so I feel like this is probably the best option that we could get. Now, last for the Survivor Series elites, we do have the British Bulldog, and now I think I speak for most people, there is one attire that most people want, and that is his Survivor Series 1999 gear. And of course, this is midway through the Attitude Era, and believe it or not, British Bulldog hasn't actually had an elite of this era yet. And we have had a basic, but I feel like an elite would probably be better. And I feel like, because this would be the builder figure, a lot of people would be interested in buying the full set just for this figure, because I think, to be honest, there's a lot of people who want this figure, and I just feel like now's probably the best time to do it. Now on to the final set, we have the Top Picks Elite, and now Rey Mysterio, of course, is in this because he's always in the Top Picks Elite, and there is quite a lot of attires that he could go for, and he could even go for a figure that's already been made. But this figure hasn't already been made, and it is none other than his attire from SummerSlam 2022. And now, this was quite a good match, and also, if we got this in figure form, it would be even better. And now, to be honest, the attire, I just feel like that this one would probably be made into an Elite, so that's why I'm saying this one. And to be honest, it is quite a cool attire, so I don't see why they wouldn't make it. And overall, the mask and the attire looks good, so hopefully this one does get made. Next, we've got Riddle, and now there is a couple of Riddle attires that I am hoping for, but there is one in particular that I feel like they should probably make, and they might put it in the next SummerSlam Elites, but I feel like now would probably be the best time to do it. And that, of course, the attire being his SummerSlam 2021 gear. And now, I think we have had a basic of this, and it might have been in one of those battle packs. But I feel like if this was made in an Elite, I think that I would definitely buy it, because it is quite a good attire. And I think that we have even got the Randy Orton to go with it. And they could even include a Raw Tag Team Championship to make it even better. Last but not least, we've got Cody Rhodes. And now for this, they could give us the Elite 101 again, and I'd be fine with that. However, I feel like they're going to give us a different attire. And the attire that I think that they're going to give us is one of only a few that he's worn in WWE, but probably one of my favourite gears that he's ever worn. And of course, that is his attire from WrestleMania Backlash 2022. And I feel like, although he has worn a couple of other gears, this is probably one of his best ones, as I said, just because it looks really good. And I feel like if they made this in Elite form, it would be even better. So hopefully, this one does get made. So that does it for all the predictions, and hopefully a lot of these predictions do come true, because I would 100% buy a lot of these. And if you've got any predictions for upcoming Elites, just comment them down below, because I want to see what you think will be made. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.